Good morning, folks. How are you again this morning, eh? I hope you're enjoying my blog. Now, you're probably sitting there and saying, what's this guy up to? Now he's sitting here with a collar and tie on and a suit and everything. What's he all about? Well, you see, there were two sides to Ronnie Bishop. Ronnie Bishop is a hard-nosed businessman, but he's also a comedian, and he trades under the name of Ronnie B. So what you're about to see today on this video is the hard-nosed businessman. That's why I got the tie on. And it's a warning to you all that you never, ever, ever double-cross Ronald Edward Bishop from Timaru, New Zealand. So let's get started, shall we? And start by reading the headline on Ronnie's blog this morning. Timaru businessman challenges the New Zealand employment law publicly worldwide on YouTube. Please note, I was not giving out idle threats to those who betrayed us and defamed my character when I wrote that I was going to make a public inquiry online into our employment case in a bid to reverse the judge's decision while at the same time attempt to change the New Zealand employment law for the benefit of all New Zealand business owners. All parties involved in the case have been warned of our pending public challenge, and to date no valid objections have been received. Public domain. Our case has been through mediation, an Employment Relations Authority investigation, Timaru Police internal investigation, the Timaru Employment Court, and the case is now in the public domain. Therefore we are at liberty to use people's names provided we tell the truth and comply with the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act 1688. Using people's real names protects those that may be innocent. All those who are accused of any wrongdoing have been informed of the online investigation, and they have been given the right to claim their innocence by making comments on Ronnie's blog. www.timarudirectory.co.nz/news. At this point in time, only the applicant for the claim, Christine Florence Bennett, has made any comments online. In doing so, Miss Bennett has also been given the opportunity to admit her wrongdoing in the case publicly, and she has been invited to help us change the employment law, but she remains silent along with all the many others who have been accused of wrongdoing in the Employment Relations Authority case, file number 5136023. Mediation meeting. A mediation meeting was held between the parties and was supervised by an unknown staff member of the Department of Labour. No independent person was appointed at the mediation meeting to take notes, which means no records of the meeting were ever kept for future reference. The applicant and her counsel, Anne-Marie McRae, left the meeting before it was officially closed, and no official minutes were taken by the Department of Labour supervisor. There was a dispute of the amount of the wages and holiday pay, and a few days after the mediation meeting, Miss Bennett's counsel returned her uncashed wage cheque, claiming it was some $50 short, and that an application had been lodged to have an investigation meeting with the Employment Relations Authority. My wife and I never received a visit to our home or office by the investigator. A public investigation meeting was held in the South Canterbury Club on the 28th of August 2009, and once again no independent person was appointed to take notes. The determination of the authorities showing the result of that meeting was dated 13 weeks later on the 21st of December 2009 and was served on the respondents by standard post and not personal service. There was no affidavit of service filed, and my wife and I were given just 28 days, including all statutory holidays, to challenge the determination of the Employment Relations Authority. No law firms were available to us over the Christmas holiday period. Miss Bennett was a client of at least 6 law firms in our hometown of Timaru, which denied us any legal advice or assistance during that time. The determination of the Employment Authority reads as follows. In the Employment Relations Authority Christchurch, case number CA 21809, file number 5136023, Christine Florence Bennett, shop assistant, is the applicant, and Ronald Edward Bishop and Margaret Ellen Bishop, trading as Debtor Communications, are the respondents. Member of the authority was Helen Doyle. Representatives Anne-Marie McRae, counsel for the applicant, and Ronald and Margaret Bishop were in attendance in person. An investigation meeting was the 28th of August 2009 at Timaru. Submissions received 28th of August from applicant and September the 2009 correspondence from respondents. Determination of the authority. Employment relations problem. In brief, Christine Bennett says she was unjustifiably dismissed on the 8th of August 2008 as office administrator with Ronald and Margaret Bishop, trading as Debtor Communications, compensation of $15,000 plus wages, a total claim of $16,408.50. Mr. and Mrs. Bishop counterclaim against Miss Bennett, including known costs of $29,653.99 caused by the dispute of plus $15,000 in compensation, causing worry and stress within the Bishop family to a total of $42,653.99. Jeff Goldstein, Christchurch practicing barrister. Jeff Goldstein, Christchurch sole practicing barrister. Mr. Goldstein took instructions from us with the promise that he would act for us as our counsel in proceedings in the employment court. Mr. Goldstein broke his verbal contract that he had with us and withdrew his services, leaving us to defend ourselves without legal advice and only a few days to file the challenge. We were later informed that was because he was a sole barrister, he was not permitted to take instructions from us at all. We laid an official complaint to the New Zealand Law Society about Mr. Goldstein's wrongful actions, only to be told that he was given the instructions to act for us by Shauna McClellan, a woman solicitor who we have never met or heard of before. It turns out that Mr. Goldstein is now in practice as an employment lawyer in the practice of Goldstein, Ryder, McClellan in Recordon in Christchurch. His partner in the law firm, Shauna McClellan, was used as his cover-up, as she has refused to make comment on the situation, while the New Zealand Law Society is refusing to answer our emails regarding their involvement in our complaint. More on this story as it unfolds. Yes, folks, there's going to be a lot more. A lot more. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going right through our case, and I'm going to recite it on Ronnie's blog. Right here, you'll be able to follow it. I have no idea how long it's going to take me. I'm just going to keep writing every day. I will write something and I will read it out online here. And you will be able to make comment. Our blog is open. You can put comments in there and I will reply to them. So this is a public inquiry going worldwide, and I want as many comments as possible so we can get some overview of what the New Zealand employment law is like in New Zealand. I hold no malice to Miss Christine Bennett. I'm trying to help her, but she won't be helped. So I'm just carrying on best I can. I have no legal advice. I'm doing it all on my own. So till tomorrow morning, keep smiling. Bye-bye.